Ralph, what brings you to the Masters Conference this year?
Well, it's a chance to see some of my old friends and speak to people in the heart of e-discovery, which pretty much Washington, D.C. And it gives me an opportunity to talk to people about some of my central messages on e-discovery.
Is there any particular topic this year?
Yes, it's the same topic as last year. Message I think is the most important is the need for lawyers in IT to work together, and for companies, particularly corporations that tend to get involved in a fair amount of litigation, to set up internal e-discovery readiness teams where people from the law department, people from the IT department, and also select people from management, such as records management and other areas, form a team and work together and prepare for e-discovery. Because in my experience, that's the best way for companies to save money and control risk.
How does the Masters Conference compare to other conferences you've attended in the past?
Well, I like coming to the Masters Conference because it's very well organized. I think everybody agrees with that. We like the way things run on time, very well done. For instance, last night I attended a dinner for speakers where we got a chance to interact with people, excellent food. I mean, everything is pretty much top quality.
Under the current environment, do you feel the most pressure is on the management of companies or the law firms?
Well, there's tremendous need in both. Wrote an article on the need for respect between law and IT, and there's a lot of disrespect on both sides. And in law firms, there's difficulty between the IT people and the lawyers, particularly trial lawyers, working together. A lot of firms need to address that problem. But it's not unique to law firms. Corporations, the clients, have the same issues. There's miscommunication going on. There's not very good cooperation in many companies. And that's causing unnecessary expenses and loss and mistakes. I mean, when you analyze the cases, some of the time there's some ill will on people. Some people are really, perhaps in the Qualcomm v. Broadcom case, perhaps that's one where you had people intentionally trying to hide 300,000 emails. But most of the time, I don't think it's intentional malice or attempt to hide the ball. I think it's just a mess up. It's mistakes made, and a lot of times that can be attributed to not having proper communication, not having proper teamwork. So I'm out there trying to give the message that we need teamwork to make this thing work, and that particularly law and IT, those two cultures need to work together.
Do you feel there should be regional Masters conferences around the country, California, Chicago, Texas, New York, South Florida, mainly because attorneys are different in each location? Do you think there's a call for a national like this versus a regional where we may do a one-day seminar to go out and come in on a Friday, do a seminar on Saturday and go home on Sunday?
Well, number one, regional, yes. Lawyers are different. I travel a lot. I'm from Florida, where there's people all over the country from Florida, so I'm used to dealing with people from all over. But the New York lawyers and New York culture is different than the California culture. I interact with both, but they need a different presentation. Washington's different. The South is different. So the regional is not a bad idea. But the main point I'd like to make, and this is in most of my writings, in my blog, if you read that, e-discovery team, or you read my book that the ABA has published, you'll see one of my central messages is that behind this communication problem is a lack of education. People just need to inform themselves and start to understand this subject. We got to get rid of the mystery. We got to get rid of the strange words and language people don't understand. Get rid of the fear of technology that a lot of lawyers have, and that requires education. So that's the key, I think, for the next 5 years to make this thing work, stop all the mistakes, bring the cost down, is we're going to have to educate people. Not only lawyers, we're going to educate IT. So I would urge these conferences to reach out to both. Maybe you have different ones, one for IT and one for lawyers too, but the goal ought to be to have them both working together. So that's what I try and do, and that's why I applaud the Masters Conference, because it's an educational event, and that's what we need.
I want to thank you very much for your time this morning. It was great meeting you for the first time.
Good to see
I
you,
enjoyed
Joe.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.